Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. So happy Galentines, Valentines, whatever. Take yourself on a date night, have an M&S, dine in for 2 for 1. Why not? Have you seen their meal options? This love sausage, it's hilarious. Anyway, I digress. This is today's makeup look. It's glam, it's sexy, it's fierce. You'll totally just want to go on a date with yourself. Anyway, this look focuses on creating quite a glam eye look, but using quite soft browns and stuff with a little bit of shim, and kind of, you know, natural skin as always. I've already, and yeah, it's really simple to do. I bloody love it. Do you love it? If you do, carry on watching and let's get to it. So my base is all done, apart from a bit of colour blush. We'll go on to that a bit later. So I'm going to start off with the eyes, and I'm using MAC Costa Riche pencil. This is the most beautiful warm brown with a pearlized finish. It's got a real red undertone, so it just makes pretty much any eye colour pop really, but especially this will look like mega unreal on a blue eye. But anyway, I'm going to pop this in the waterline all the way around, so top and bottom. So I'm just putting the pencil in and drawing it all the way across. And there's other ways you can do the waterline, so you can either kind of look and then you can look down. It's so tricky, but I find it easier to shove it in my eye. Obviously, I shove it in my eye and then like draw it with the eye closed, because it makes it that little bit less tickly for me. And I find that if you've got contacts, go easy because you don't want to draw on them. Okay, and then I'm going to take the pencil, spill it over the edge, and then I'm going to draw. I'm going to make sure, I need to sort out my mirror situation. Okay, so I'm going to draw. You can see with my eyes open, you don't see much of my lid. So what I'm going to do is just take a real light sketch of the pencil, because I'm going to do something a bit more glam what I would normally do. I'm going to take that, so it kind of felt a little bit more underneath. Oh, sorry. I'm such a professional. And what I'm looking to do is ensuring there's no gap between where the pencil is and where the lash bed is. It's like a makeup artist pet peeve. Then I'm going to take this My Kitco brush and smudge it. But I'm going to do a really specific motion. I'm going to keep it in that whole area. And what this is going to do, and following me for a while, you'll know I love to use a bit of pencil as a bit of underwear to really give me structure and guidance of where I'm going. I really think of it like a good pair of underwear, and it just helps me. And if I do any mistakes at this point, you can literally rub it off with your fingers. It's not like you're fully committed. It's a really old makeup artist technique. I was going to say trick, but it's not a trick, it's a technique. Already you can see you've got a bit of negative space on the eye where we've carved that eyeball out essentially. Then I'm going to blend the other side exactly the same. This type of pencil doesn't set. You need to put powder on top of it to set. So know the pencil you're working with. If you have a pencil that sets immediately, you might want to do one eye and one bit at a time, because it might set too quickly. So if you're noticing you're trying to smudge it and it's not moving, you've probably got a pencil that sets, which is fine. Not sure. Swatch a bit on the back of your hand, and if it doesn't do that, you know you got one that sets. I'm just gonna look at this in the mirror. That's looking good. So already that looks like a beautiful smoky eye, and you could just kind of go from there. So, which we're going to do, fine. I'm going to take a flat brush now, and I'm going to go in with this, this is the Charlotte Tilbury palette called, what's it called? Pillow Talk. So I'm going to use this in the kind of negative space, not my lid. It's going to be like my main colour I'm laying. Got a rogue hair there, reclip. So I guess I'm going for that quite glam makeup look that you would see kind of Nicki Makeup do, or James Malloy. Obviously I'm aware I don't have the same features as the models they work with, so it's never going to look the same on me, and I know that. I can replicate the feeling of it on as being a normal person, and I'm going to take that. So I've gone for a flatter brush to really get precision on this. This is a cream shadow brush. I'm just using it because it's really flat and going to give me precision. I'm just setting the underneath of the eye as well with that same tone. And this is where we're going to get a bit more specific. You ready for the the cutest, smallest brush you've ever seen in the world. Right, let me just get another brush to compare it to. Look. Isn't that the cutest, smallest brush you've ever seen in your life? I know, another My Kitco one. Honestly, they're one of my favourite brushes. Honestly, they're one of my favourite brushes on the market. So I'm going for the darker shade now. And what I'm going to do, tap the excess off. What you can do as well, smush it into the back of your hand, or I've got like a towel in front of me, so I'm just smushing the excess product to avoid drop down. Then I'm going to work off that. I'm mirroring now that shape that we were creating because I've got it. So it's a real, think, you know, these are kind of that Victoria's Secret, super sexy, super feline kind of makeup. And this is one of those colours that the more you apply, the darker it goes. So it doesn't look that dark, but when you begin to build it, can you see the difference between depth and the shape and the openness we're getting from it? This bit can be so tricky to draw on, especially as we get older because the skin is so thin. So my tips are just to hold, you can potentially use your pinky as a bit of a compass rest and blend a real lightweight motion. You don't like stab your eye and be really heavy because that'll just drag the skin. It's just really lightweight, and if it is like super movie, you can sort of just hold it, you know, at the edge so it just pulls it a little bit. I don't want to be stretching and pulling my eyes too much, don't want to be yanking them around. And then I'm going to go over with a bit more pencil. I like to sandwich and build, and this colours, I want to add a bit more depth. So I like to just warm the pencil up just before I use it. And then I'm going to build. It's going to be like a smudged kind of eyeliner. And notice how I'm doing really small strokes. Just blending that out. I'm going to do a little bit underneath as well. And a look on my eye, just to blend that in a bit in so it really disappears into my skin. I'm going to take a bit more underneath. I'm going to take it to that inner corner to do a bit of, I think it's called fox eye, isn't it? That trend, like pulling it. But can you see that difference of adding that little bit of depth? We're adding accents here along the crease in at bottom. And that just kind of pulls and stretches the eye out. Gorgeous. And so easy. I'm just using the edge of my nail just to clean that up. The fun part, always matching it up on the other side. So it looks a bit crazy when it's not blended. Flicking that edge out to give a bit more of a flicked liner look, but we will clean it up shortly. Playing with makeup is literally the best thing. There is. Beauty is the best industry to work in, folks. It really is. I'm going to go to that slightly bigger blending brush just to soften this out. So what I'm going to do is just check the shapes here. So if I tilt my head back, you can see, yeah, I think this side's just a bit stronger, so I'm just going to add a bit more. I sleep on this side, so I feel like this side of my face is aging quicker than this side. The elasticity is going a bit, not the same as this eye. I need to learn to sleep on my back, but hey ho. Tried to change 36 years of a habit. Not easy, although I'm sure it can be done. So I'm just dipping back into that matte colour and just sweeping the tip of the brush with this, just to really soften and blur. And then what we can do is I'm going to go in with a bit of this top colour and just kind of press that on the centre and the inner corner of the eye, and use a different thing just to sort of pat and blend it in. And I'm going to take the glitter. So what I love about her glitters is they're non-messy glitters. They look like little diamonds sprinkled on your eye, but they don't really work with the brush. You really need to put them on with a finger. So I'm trying to avoid the matte places, but I can go over them a little bit. Cleaning up after. It's just so pretty. So I'm taking my small brush and just going over my liner and my crease. So this has those hints of kind of rosy tones to them as well as that warmth. Just going over the waterline just to ensure that it's really nicely dense. let's do our lashes. Give them a curl. I'll show you close up what difference lashes make. Curling them makes, well, if you have straight to not very curly lashes, it makes a huge difference. Good, isn't it? I've got quite straight lashes, even though they're long, and it shows the length off as well if you curl them. Which is what I really love about it. These are Tweezerman pet. And then go in with mascara. This is the Hourglass Caution. Well, it is Valentines, Galentines, whatever you want to call it. So this is a long wear but quite thickening, dramatic mascara. I got this in Lisa Potter Dixon's kits she did with Liberty. And with the outer lashes, so the inner lashes, the kind of middle ones, I really pull forward, and then these ones I've really put out. This is quite hard for me to use because the brush is so small. I'm not getting the kind of distance from it that I normally like, if you get me. Mascara is such a personal thing. I do like some mini ones, but because of the shape of the lid, I think it's just hard to get really close. Mascara is really the finishing touch to any eye look, or even if just curling the lashes. So I like to get any extra bits and just juice up the root of the lash bit at the end, really use that, eke them out. So once all of the mascara has dried on this eye where I stabbed myself, I get a clean Q-tip, and I like these ones which are like a paddle on one side and pointy on the other, and it just flicks off then without you having to get any remover, any fuss. So you can just flick. If it's not dry, it will smudge everywhere. So to clean this up, I'm going to get a bit of concealer, back of hand. I'm going to go back to my concealer brush that I used earlier, and then I can just clean up. So I'm taking it a bit lower than the actual eye makeup, and I'm going to use it as a rubber. Now there's not much product on there. I can just sort of blend everything in and sort of sharpen it up. So this is like fine tuning that edit. See the difference that just made? Something against my eyes today, keep trying to stab myself. Right, then I go back in with my blending brush and just smooth the two together, because this will have a bit of the excess of the shadow, so it'll just soften everything in so there's no hard edges. And what you want to avoid with the concealer is getting that kind of blobby edge line thing. I think you'll know what I mean, where it looks like you've highlighted it and you've got a bit of a ridge edge. We don't want that, darling. Right, so that's our eyes done. Let's do the cheeks and lips, then we're almost done. Right, so this is the Orgasm NARS liquid brush. This is lovely, so I've popped it on the heel of my hand. This is such a good, I can't put the lid on. There we go. Universal shade, so pop it on my, clap it, blend it, pop it on. So this will just have that real gorgeous flush of colour. And again, you can go back to, say, your foundation brush. You think, oh, gone a bit heavy. You can just blend it through. Bloody lovely stuff. Let's do a bit of highlight. You know I like a bit of juice in my life. This is the RMS highlighter. It's stunning. This is the shade Luminized Peach. So if you're really pale, use a lighter one. This works on to like a medium to a real deep skin tone really nicely. It just has a bit of warmth to it, so you just got to make sure it's really well blended. There's no highlighters quite like this texture. They look really kind of wet and juicy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, take yourself out for a date, bloody hell. Okay, lips. Where are my lipsticks? Here. So I'm just buffing off any excess lip balm. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. I'm going in the centre, slightly lower than my natural lip, juicing up the top and putting it in. But if you want to, you know, where I've plumped the lip up is just in the centre. Never do the edges because it'll begin to look a bit clowny. And I'm going to get this NARS Air Matte Lip Colour in the coloured Thrust. These are lovely. Oh, darker than I thought. I thought it was going to be a bit more peachy based on the packaging. Oh well, still works. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm just gonna A bit more powder. I think it's the lights more than anything. That is. Oh yeah, that is delicious. Let's do a quick hair zhuzh, clips out. Probably need to put a bit of serum in my hair, but anyway, you get the vibe. What do you think of this look? Will you be trying it out for Valentine's Day? If you do, please tag me in your recreations, because I love to see what you guys get up to. And always keep the chat going in the comments. I always get back to you. Yeah, that's this week's video. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and I always upload on a Sunday. I've got lots of daily content going up on TikTok and more Instagram. That's where I'm heavily present. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Until next time.